नमस्ते एवरीवन, वेलकम टू थिंकिंग ब्रिजेस पॉडकास्ट। और आज हमारे साथ है वन ऑफ माय वेरी स्पेशल स्टूडेंट महक मल्होत्रा। आज की ये वीडियो एक बहुत ही ऐसे टॉपिक के ऊपर है जिसमें सीए स्टूडेंट, सीए एस्पिरेंट्स का इतना ज्यादा डाउट रहता है, इतनी कंफ्यूजन रहती है उन्हें। तो आज हम उसको पूरा ब्रेक डाउन करने वाले हैं एंड वी आर गोइंग टू सेटल इट फॉर वंस एंड फॉर ऑल। Mehak and I, we met in one of our live group discussion batches that I used to take when the COVID pandemic hit, and that's when we started exploring communication skills. And Mehak was actually, one of the best participants, and not just for that particular live group discussion batch, but we continued the journey of improving communication skills after that as well. So we're going to also record her experience, how to improve communication skills while being in your CA journey, क्योंकि CAs को ना थोड़ा सा उस बात के लिए पोक किया जाता है कि भाई इनके कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स अच्छे नहीं होते हैं। तो वी आर गोइंग टू लिसन फ्रॉम हर ओन एक्सपीरियंस, राइट? बट फॉर नाउ वी आर गोइंग टू टॉक अबाउट इंडस्ट्रियल ट्रेनिंग। इंडस्ट्रियल ट्रेनिंग इतने ज्यादा स्टूडेंट्स का डाउट रहता है, एंड सबसे बड़ा डाउट रहता है कि यार ठीक है, सबने बोला करनी चाहिए, इंपॉर्टेंट होती है, अच्छा एक्सपोजर मिलता है, इनफैक्ट पेमेंट भी अच्छी मिलती है, बट हाउ डू यू एक्चुअली गो अबाउट सर्चिंग द राइट अपॉर्चुनिटीज फॉर इंडस्ट्रियल ट्रेनिंग एंड हाउ डू यू एक्चुअली गेट देम? क्योंकि काफी जो है हेक्टिक प्रोसीजर होता है इसका। सो वी आर गोइंग टू अंडरस्टैंड एवरीथिंग फ्रॉम महक। महक हैज डन हर इंडस्ट्रियल ट्रेनिंग फ्रॉम वन ऑफ द बिगेस्ट बैंक्स, HSBC, एंड वी आर गोइंग टू रिकॉर्ड हर एंटायर एक्सपीरियंस, कैसे उन्होंने अप्लाई करा, कैसा उनका वर्क एक्सपीरियंस था, और स्टाइपेंड भी कितनी थी वो भी पूछ लेंगे, महक बता देगी। ठीक है, सो वेलकम महक, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर डूइंग दिस, रियली लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड टू दिस कॉन्वर्सेशन।
Hi, ma'am. Thank you so much, firstly, for inviting me and for such a good introduction. Thank you so much again.
Right. So, Mehak, let's start from the very beginning. So, help me with your articleship experience and how did you decide कि मुझे industrial training करना चाहिए?
Okay, so my articleship was from a medium-sized firm, and I have mostly dealt with audits. So मैंने सारे audits कर रखे हैं, be it statutory audit, internal audit, forensic audit, mostly referring to the bank audit. So while doing my articleship, वो that 1.5 years का journey, 2 years at that time, मुझे समझ आ गया था that I am not much interested into audit. I explored that field, but it was not the area which I wanted to work further in. And same with taxation also, we had some of the direct taxation work as well. So at that time I decided that I want to give industry a chance. And after being CEO also, mera pehle se clear tha that I don't want to set up my own practice. I would initially want to go into a corporate sector, and that's when I decided that industrial too is definitely one thing I want to give a chance to.
राइट। सो HSBC की जो अपॉर्चुनिटी थी, मतलब ऐसे था कि आपने मेडिटेशन कर रहे थे and एकदम से अपॉर्चुनिटी आई एंड देन यू सॉर्ट ऑफ इट हैपेंड, इट क्लिक, or did you, what efforts did you do to actually back the industrial training at HSBC?
Okay, so मुझे ऐसे लगता है that people should try different things, because what might work for me might not work for you. And I tried multiple things. It was a good 2-month long process for finding an industrial training. So I was connecting with a lot of people on LinkedIn. मतलब मेरा ना वो हफ्ते का LinkedIn का limit खत्म हो जाता था. I used to connect with so many people and then send them like a proper text message, a proper cover letter and a resume that I want to work with them. And this was one thing. I was making a lot of connections on LinkedIn, and with all hierarchies, not just trainees, but trainees, managers, AVPs, sabke saath, because it's not possible that only trainees can refer you. And so I actually got my opportunity of HSBC. While that, I messaged a vice president working in HSBC, and I told them I really want to work with them. And luckily उस time पर कहीं और किसी और department में vacancy थी, and he referred my resume to the HR. But apart from that, other बहुत सारे ways होते हैं जो मैंने भी करे थे. One way is cold mailing, of course. So I had a schedule कि हर हफ्ते I used to send, I had a like list of around 60 plus mails, और ऐसे बहुत सारे PDF circulated है, one can easily get it, or one can just make their own compilation LinkedIn पर search करके, क्योंकि बहुत सारे industry training की opportunities आते हैं, and you connect with so many people. So this is one way. Connecting on LinkedIn is another way. Then some of my friends actually got industrial training from naukri.com as well. So just ये job search की sites होती है, yeah, some of them did. So that also helped. And there's a portal of ICI as well. at my time it was not that effective, so मुझे इतना help नहीं करा. But again, I had a friend who got into one of the best investment banks through that ICI portal. So why not, give it a try? Then there are so many groups on Telegram, WhatsApp, where you can join, and these people send vacancies on daily basis, जो भी LinkedIn पे post हो रहे हैं. So try multiple things because you never know what could work for you.
Right. So now that you're mentioning कि LinkedIn है, ICI's portal है, then there are these job websites, Naukri, there's Indeed. I mean, I'm pretty sure there are others as well. So एक वो क्वेश्चन आ जाता है ऑथेंटिसिटी का, especially when it comes to job portals, right? Naukri and others. So how did you make sure? How did you verify when you're applying for an opportunity? वो verify कैसे किया कि हाँ ये genuine लग रहा है या कैसे लग रहा है?
As in, like, how do we verify that the job vacancy is genuine or not?
Yeah.
Okay. So, whatever mails I've gotten for HSBC or whatever interviews I've given, that is like proper, company ka mail ID with which you get that. So you can always check, for example, with HSBC, it is hsbc.com or it's hsbc.co.in. So whatever mails you're getting from them, it is authentic emails. Otherwise, it would not be an authentic email. And always do a background verification check in the LinkedIn as well. So for example, अगर मेरा कहीं भी interview होता था, तो I know they tell that which manager is taking your interview. So I used to search their names on LinkedIn also, that what profile they're into or what they're doing. And these are certain things which help you to get a background verification check. And also if somebody is asking you, like, for example, some money, right? Deposit that money amount to get an interview. That's completely fake. Don't rely on it, and especially don't rely on it कि नहीं हमें आधे घंटे में बताना है. It doesn't work that way. Just be calm, just be chill, and हो जाएगा सब आराम से.
Right. So let's talk about the process a little bit, and a little bit about the different profiles that you can work in while your industrial training is going on. Let's talk about the process first. What was the process when you were applying to HSBC? Because I believe your experience is going to help a lot of people out there who are watching this video.
Okay, so once you get an interview call, I think it varies department to department as well, how many interviews they are going to take, and it depends upon company to company as well. For example, within HSBC, I had 2 levels of interview. One was the direct interview with an AVP, and the other was just like a background verification, and it was done by an HR. So these 2 were my rounds, but I have given interviews in a lot of other companies as well. So वहाँ पर क्या होता है कि sometimes up first, like, manager will take your interview, then the AVPs will take your interview, and then अगर if they are still not satisfied, then someone else from the senior level will take your interview. So it depends upon, again, company to company. For example, Goldman Sachs has one of the most strictest ways to selecting candidates. So they have multiple rounds, but again, it varies. And there again a lot of technical questions which can be asked in an interview. So they want to check your holistic approach. 360 degree view आपका check होता है. So it's not only about what experience you carry, it's also about how you carry yourself and everything. So अगर मैं यहाँ पे बात करूँ, या just in general also, कि मुझे क्या क्या interviews में पूछा गया and everything, they do consider that how whatever work you have done, आपने वो कितना अच्छे से करा है. That is one thing they are checking. They're not concerned with what work you have done or what brands you have worked with, but how much practical understanding you had with that with that particular profile, with that particular job. Secondly is how good is your Excel skills, or in some cases how good is your PowerPoint skills, because some people would want you to work on PowerPoint as well, but mostly in industries Excel is something जो आपको आना ही चाहिए. And it's not that आपको बहुत ऐसा advanced level आना चाहिए, just some normal Excel, ऐसा VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, macros इतना भी आता है, तो it would work just fine, and you can always go and learn in an industry. I think thirdly, which they check, is that how well you are able to communicate your thoughts. It's not just restricted to speaking in English, but in general as well. They check, like, how calm you are, how composed you are, because they would eventually want you to talk to the clients as well. So
correct. And how well you're able to articulate your thoughts, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Because these are some of the things which I think everybody checked, like not in just HSBC, everywhere, wherever I was interviewed, these were some common points which, gain.
So Mehak, let's talk about the questions now. What questions should one prepare when they're appearing for the industrial training interview? I mean, obviously, I think it depends on different profiles. अकाउंट पेबल के लिए डिफरेंट क्वेश्चंस होंगे, एफपीएनए की प्रोफाइल के लिए डिफरेंट सेट ऑफ क्वेश्चंस होंगे, बट इज देयर एनी generic study material that one should refer to before going for their industrial training interview?
No, not as such a study material, but I think what works, what one can prepare by their end is, firstly, whatever you are writing on your resume, be very sure about it. Don't write anything that you have not done or you're not confident about, because they'll ask you like everything on your resume. मुझसे हर एक चीज पूछी गई थी, मतलब अगर मैंने एक छोटा सा भी ऑडिट करा है तो some managers ask me कि इस केस सिनारियो में अगर ये हमारी कंपनी पर एप्लीकेबल होता, then what were your what would have you done differently. And so firstly, be very well versed with your own resume, and prepare a short introduction of yourself which you would like to do in that first 1 minute when they tell you to introduce yourself. So these two things you can prepare. Thirdly, be a little well versed with Excel as well. I have seen that some companies managers जहाँ पे बहुत ज्यादा Excel का work होता है, वो आपको ना on the spot दे देते हैं कि इसमें अगर आप थोड़ा filter करके बताओ कैसे करोगे, या आप इस डेटा को कैसे अरेंज करोगे. ये मेरी खुद की टीम में भी हुआ था, so I'm very much sure about that. So be well versed with that. Thirdly, if you are studying financial reporting, that is a CA final subject. अगर आप वो पढ़ रहे हो, so there are some इंडेस जो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल लीसेस, इंडेस 116, 109 फाइनेंशियल इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स, एंड सम ऑफ दीज मेजर इंडेस जो बहुत ज्यादा यूज होते हैं कंपनीज में, एंड दे माइट आस्क यू क्वेश्चंस फ्रॉम दोज इंडेस, बिकॉज मुझसे पूछे गए थे इन्वेंट्री, लीसेस, फाइनेंशियल इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स. So it's not that necessary that you need to have a coaching for that. You can just see YouTube videos, revisionary videos for that as well, depending upon which profile you are working as well. And a little bit SFM also. If the interview relates to investment banking, they would be interested to know that if you know what is derivatives, what is an options contract, what is a call option. So just like a basic. Yeah, exactly. Ratios is very important. Like some of the people would ask you that ye ratios batao, because these are very much used on day-to-day basis. So these are some things you can be a little stronger with your SFM and FR. If you don't know it, it's absolutely fine. I had no idea. Like मेरा जब इंटरव्यू था, मेरी कोचिंग भी नहीं हुई थी, but I knew कि ये मेजर इंडेस है, तो मैंने उनका वीडियोस देख लिया था. And not everybody would ask you that, but some, and like a basic accounting knowledge, it should be strong. Like क्या आप journal entries post कर रहे हो, what is debit, what is credit, like we all know that, but at that time ना हम थोड़ा पैनिक कर जाते हैं. तो वो थोड़ा सा ना वो स्ट्रॉन्गर होना चाहिए कि आप क्या एंट्री करोगे इस चीज की, बिकॉज अगर आप अकाउंटिंग में जा रहे हो, there's a chance they might ask you that. So these are the things which you can prepare on your own. Otherwise it depends upon the manager, what he's asking you at that point.
Yeah. Okay, so to summarize, what you should prepare for your industrial training, definitely whatever work you've done in your articleship, you should have a really good understanding of everything that you've done. Secondly, be well versed with your resume. They can pretty much ask anything from your resume, so do not fake anything or do not put any wrong or false information. Be very true and fair on that part. Third is you have to revise the latest India, especially the leases, inventory, financial instruments, right? And then you have to, if you are going for an investment banking profile, then be well versed with financial management, and you can watch a few revisionary videos on YouTube that are available. I think that's pretty much it, right?
And be a bit about like Excel wala point as well.
Excel, yes, definitely. Yeah, Excel. So be also a little bit familiar with the frequently used formulas in the MS Excel. Right. Moving on to different profiles that you get to work in the industrial training. I mean, I know about account payables, I know about FP&A, but if you could talk a little bit about those profiles and what kind of work is done in each and every profile.
Okay, so it's as it is as like how many departments are there are that many profiles. So किसी भी profile में opening आ सकती है, but some of the very common profiles which I have seen being industrial trainees being selected, first is accounting, of course. Mine was financial accounting and analysis. So it involves that जो भी company में day to day पर expenses या revenues हो रहे हैं, आप उसको record कर रहे हो, you are recording them, and you are seeing कि what is their profit and loss impact, what is their balance sheet impact, and what is the actuals for the last months, what is the accruals you are expecting this month. So financial accounting is all all about that. Then there's a profile called business finance. In business finance, it's basically that whatever your products are, you are checking the sale of the products of the last month, comparing it to the latest months, and doing the analysis, doing inventory management, doing aging data, preparing reports of that structure. Then again, a similar profile is corporate finance. It's a bit into a bit of consultancy. Apart from that, there is FP&A, which you said it relates to like external reporting. उसमें आ जाता है कि आप balance sheet and profit and loss prepare करो, so it goes after your accounting profile. Then there's one profile, product control. So in product control, you see that there are traders which are sitting on the onshore team. For example, there's a trader in Hong Kong team of that company, and you want to see that whatever trades he's doing it as per the that company's mandate. So you have to check like daily profit and loss you have to make, and you have to check the ups and downs in that in that particular profit and loss account. Other you know what other profiles are that? There's internal audit, of course. There's internal audit. There's consultancy. There's direct taxation. In जो हमारा ICA का भी होता है taxation और internal audit, वो भी for that particular company there's treasury as well. There is, so बहुत सारे profiles होते हैं. These are some of them.
Yeah, that is a very extensive answer. That's what exactly I was looking for, Mahak. Thank you for the insights on that. So एक बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग सवाल जो आए दिन हर बच्चा पूछ ही लेता है, पेमेंट कितनी मिलती है, स्टाइपेंड कितना मिलता है, या फिर जो सैलरी है, इंडस्ट्रियल ट्रेनिंग की सैलरी है या स्टाइपेंड है, वो कितना मिलता है?
Okay, so basic industrial standards, firstly it varies from company to company, but basic, which I have seen, it varies from 25 to 30K. Again, for if you see FMCG sector, it gives in that range, 25 to 35K range mein hota hai. But just to like give a thumbs up, it could be as low as 10,000 like industrial stipend, depending upon if you're working with a startup. It could go as high as 1 lakh. Like some of the investment banks has revised their standards as of now, and I know some of them which are giving 1 lakh. I think JP Morgan or BCG, one of them is giving 1 lakh. Yeah, again it depends. It could be 50K, it could be 60K, so it depends. But the basic है वो is 25 to 35K.
Right, fair enough. I mean, definitely it's a good boost for anybody जिसको भाई 5,000 या 2,500 का जो हमारे इंस्टीट्यूट के स्टैंडर्ड्स हैं उससे तो काफी बड़ा जंप है. So definitely that's something to look forward to. So Mehak, obviously I don't want you to disclose the clients that you worked upon, but काम क्या किया आपने? मतलब आपकी FAA की प्रोफाइल थी, which is like financial accounting and analysis. तो आपने exactly काम क्या क्या करा, अगर आप थोड़ा brief में बता पाओ तो.
Okay, so the department which I was working the department which I was working for, it was a asset management vertical. So we were working with the HSBC UK team, which was sitting in the onshore. So हमें क्या करना होता था? HSBC has a lot of funds which they manage, a lot of mutual funds and everything. So I was working with the revenue team basically. So we needed to see there are a lot of funds. So we did accounting of those funds, whatever the revenue which is being recorded and whatever the fees which they are incurring, और उनको क्या क्या payments कहाँ से HSBC को आना है. So it could be AMC fees or other management fees which they take. So one part involves the accounting part, that you record everything whichever is happening in that particular month, and उससे previous month के actuals जो हुए हैं वो आप record करते हो. This is like a one week work, which is a very hectic part. Apart from that, what you do is you prepare reconciliations of whatever you have posted, and whatever should have been posted. So reconciliations होता है, then you check their profit and loss impact and their balance sheet impact की बहुत ज़्यादा sudden true up नहीं है, बहुत ज़्यादा sudden true down नहीं है, and then you report these to the CEOs and CFOs which are sitting on the onshore team. Apart from that, it involved the doing aging analysis कि हमें जो भी payments आनी है वो time पर हो रही है, हमारा revenue time पर जा रहा है, and then like there are things that you can also take initiative, like हमारे उस time पर at that time team में automation बहुत ज़्यादा हो रहा था. So I worked with some of the projects to like automate some files, how to like reduce the time. So it was the overall work which I did.
That is actually very interesting work. मजा आया था आपको पूरा?
It sounds interesting. It's nice. It's very different from audit and whatever we are doing, right? So for me, corporate is a big yes, but again, it's okay. Matlab, the work was nice to do it like 1 year or like 1 to 2 years, like to understand. See, accounting is like the base for everything. So you understand कि क्या हो रहा है actual level पे जाकर. तो वो जानना इज वेरी नाइस. एंड ऑल्सो दैट फॉर सच लाइक लार्ज ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ना, तो वो 1-1.5 साल से तो प्रोसेस ही समझ आया कि इतना बड़ा प्रोसेस है, क्या क्या हो रहा है. सो इट वाज गुड इन दैट वे.
Right. But yeah, definitely after qualifying, you sort of, when you join the industry, you sort of advance to a level wherein you'll actually get to work on strategy part or, actually where your brain will be used. Then accounting is definitely something not very intellectually stimulating. I understand that.
Yeah, sort of. Like you really want to go into those like IFRS or Ind AS. Okay, ये बताओ ये कैसे हो रहा है काम, ये वाला करने का मन कर रहा है. So
Right. So Mehak, tell me, anybody who's preparing for industrial training, tell me 2 to 3 points that they should take care of so that they can, get the opportunity as soon as possible, and they can definitely perform to the best of their levels.
okay, so first thing is that don't be disappointed that you are not getting calls. If you like, give your 100%, like try for at least 2 months, for according to me, and be very like normal with the fact that in the 1 month you will not get any calls. Because it's absolutely fine. मतलब 1 महीना आपके रेज्यूमे को पहुंचने में लग रहा है किसी कंपनी पर, because they're getting so many resumes, right? So वो 1 महीना, do that consistent effort. I remember that 1 month I did not get any calls, and I was telling my friends, I'm like, dude, I don't want to like do it anymore. And that time COVID chal raha tha. But I think consistency worked off for me. So I have some friends who like search for industrial for like 3 months and they did not get any calls. And one day that guy got a call from JP, Goldman, Unilever, and HSBC at the same day, man. Like he got selected all of these 4 places. So consistency is the key. Secondly, don't get into that idea that your attempts matter or your medium-sized firm ka tag matters. It does not really matter. It does in some firms. Some firms have that bifurcation, but I would say that like 60 to 70% it does not matter. I had multiple attempts. I did not do my college from a regular college. I did not have, and I was very scared. I was petrified because मेरा बहुत average resume था. But it's also about how you present yourself, right? Or whatever work you have done, be very proud of yourself. You cannot just say कि मैंने तो कुछ नहीं करा, यार करा है तुमने. So have that confidence in yourself. Thirdly is make a very good resume and a cover letter. Like uh, I have seen people, especially I don't know why CA students don't put efforts in their resume. They don't at all. I mean, it's something like आपका वो जा रहा है, वो रेज्यूमे आपके बारे में सब कुछ बता रहा है, एंड दैट कवर लेटर इट शुड बी वेरी गुड. डोंट कॉपी पेस्ट दैट कवर लेटर. नो, वो मतलब आप सोचो ना, एक एचआर है, वो वही मेल सेम मेल पढ़े जा रहा है 50 बार, उसको 50 लोग कॉपी पेस्ट करके भेजे, वो क्यों सिलेक्ट करेगा आपका रेज्यूमे? आई रिमेम्बर सम ऑफ, इट्स अ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग आइडिया, मुझे किसी फ्रेंड ने दिया था कि हर एक कवर लेटर के पहले ना जस्ट राइट अ फन फैक्ट ऊपर, कुछ भी अच्छा सा, it should be थोड़ा knowledgeable कुछ करके, and then start your cover letter and make it very crisp as well. And I did that, and I remember some of the companies actually texted me back on the same day. मतलब that actually worked. So be very good with your resume, be very good with your cover letter. अपना resume proof read कराओ यार लोगों से. मतलब मैंने CA से भी प्रूफ रीड कराया था, बट आई हैव सम MBA फ्रेंड्स, मैंने उनसे भी प्रूफ रीड कराया था, टू गेट लाइक बोथ व्यूज, बिकॉज बोथ आर एक्सपेक्टिंग डिफरेंट थिंग्स. सो प्रोनाउंसिएशंस, आप क्या ग्रामर यूज कर रहे हो, इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. देयर वाज इन वन इंटरव्यू जिसमें उन्होंने मेरा ना ग्रामर इतना सा मिस्टेक था, वो भी हाईलाइट कर दिया था कि इस यहाँ पे फुल स्टॉप क्यों है. A lot of people don't see, but some are who are into presentation, everything, they will see. So you don't know where your resume will go. So this is another thing I think I would suggest. Fourthly, I guess it's study related, but be very like be very regular with your studies. Don't let all of these things like hamper your studies, and be very like mentally prepared that all of these things are going to take a lot of your time. So abhi se bacha ke chalo. What like being CA is like the main goal, no?
हाँ, मतलब एक्चुअली मेन गोल तो यही है. काम तो ठीक है, डेफिनेटली होता ही रहता है, बट क्लियरिंग CA इज एक्चुअली रियली रियली वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. सो
one more thing, if you can like upskill, if you think that you are not good as of right now, so just pinpoint your areas where you are lacking and try to improve that before getting into industry. क्या आपको लग रहा है शायद ये चीज मेरा हैम्पर करेगा? फॉर एग्जाम्पल मेरा ना एक्सेल बिल्कुल अच्छा नहीं है. मुझे मेरा जो भी आर्टिकलशिप में काम होता था, इट वाज रिलेटेड टू बैंक कॉलेज, तो उसमें ना स्टैटिक रिपोर्टिंग का फॉर्मेट होता है, यू डोंट डू एनी एक्सेल वर्क, और मेरा एक्सेल बहुत ही बुरा था, और इस फर्म में एक्सेल ही यूज होता था. तो आई व्हाट हेल्प मी वाज, हमारा एडवांस आईटीटी मैंने ना वो ज्वाइन करने से पहले ले लिया था. तो अब एडवांस आईटीटी जो बहुत लोगों को बोरिंग लगता है वो होता भी है थोड़ा सा तो, बट it worked wonders for me because it helped me to like just know like simple formulas and simple shortcuts of Excel which I used massively while I was doing industrial. तो मेरा lacking area वो था कि my technical knowledge in Excel was not good.
Yeah, and if you're like if you're not getting the right resources or maybe the right places कि कहाँ से जो अपने आप को अपस्किल करना है, you can totally check out Thinking Bridge. हमारे पास मतलब different fields की master classes भी हैं, and Excel में भी जो है from basic to applied Excel, that's what we've covered. So I mean, there's no intention to like sell things here, but if something that can really help you, just trying to plug in here and give you perspective. कोई यहाँ पर push नहीं कर रही हूँ मैं. So yeah, that's about it. So thank you so much, Mehak. It was wonderful having this conversation with you, and I'm pretty sure it is going to help lots and lots of students out there. And I'm pretty sure they'll be in a better, mindset to choose the right industrial training for themselves.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for inviting me, and it is always lovely talking to you. So thank you so much for that. I really enjoyed the talk. So hope it helps people, of course.
Definitely.